You read it right in the thumbnail. This is the absolute worst second gen swap kit money can buy you. Let's get into it. Right here, as you can see, their band clamps they provide you don't even fit on their charge pipes. And if you do happen to get one to fit and try to tighten it up, it'll either snap on you or twist inside of the band. You just don't expect to spend $3,000 and have to provide your own band clamps on a supposed drop-in ready second-gen swap kit. You can see all that oil buildup in the charge pipe. This is the night that I released the truck to the customer. He had made it about an hour and 45 minutes away from my shop at this point. I had to go all the way down there, fix this issue. I thought I had the charge pipe blowing off issue solved, but this was prior to me giving him the charge pipe out of my brand new S465 kit that I got from BMP. This was the pipe they provided with the S464 kit when I was doing the install originally. As you can see, the fitment is terrible. Look at the gap in between the boot and the charge pipe, and that was with me robbing some out of the intercooler side down there on that 45. I was able to get it to work. I did drive the truck around. I did get it up 36, 38 PSI boost, maybe more than that. The factory boost gauge goes to 36. The Easy Link was capping out at 38, but just another thing you would not expect to have issues out of when you spend this type of money on a kit. I fought and fought and fought that thing, and just trying to give y'all a heads up. So let's start off with that manifold. The casting or molding on that thing is absolutely hideous. I do have one next door that is brand new, out the box. Hasn't even been put on the truck yet. So we'll get into that when we go over there. But you can tell, factory bolts. For the price you spend on this second gen swap, I believe you should get hardware and gaskets. But BMP says no. Hardware and gaskets are sold separately. Even though you're buying a $3,000 overpriced second gen swap kit from us, that absolutely nothing works as it should, you still have to buy a separate hardware and gasket set. But the stud kits that they sell you don't even work with their products. Their stud kit, on this manifold, you can only run the top. On the bottom runners, put the stud in, try to put the nut and washer and nut in, the nut runs into the manifold. Hell, the factory ones are so close that you could barely get tools on these. You gotta get a wrench in there, fight it. What else? Oh yeah, the glorious charge pipe. If you see that big old dent in their cheap ass filter, you see charge pipe blew off on this thing probably 10 times. Luckily, I had a whole nother junk brand new in the boxes on the shelf BMP S465 kit with the one-piece manifold. So between the two $3,000 turbo kits, actually one of them was like $3,300 after everything for paying the extra $500 for the S475 versus the S464. I was able to piece together a $6,000 turbo kit, and it's still giving me trouble. Nothing matches. Both kits were 13 to 18 kits. The air cleaner pipe is completely different on both, as you see, IAT, MAF. On the other one, you'll see. This is not the compressor housing that comes with it. You could tell that the one that comes with it is extremely cheap. I was surprising this customer, went with this color flow and powder coated him one of mine that I had on the shelf for a real turbo. And we went with the whiskey bronze there. If you look at that oil line, that's your oil feed to your journal bearing turbo, setting up against your 12 to 1400 degree exhaust manifold. And it has a nice bend in it. We love restriction in our oil flow to our journal bearing turbo. And the drain, can't show you all this one. Currently have the fender liner and everything in, but I promise you, the oil feed and the oil drain are exactly the same in both kits. And this hideous air cleaner boot, The quality of the manifold, same in both kits. The downpipe's not too bad. The V-bands and the band clamps for the charge pipes were completely trash. Had to use mine that I had on the shelf. This thing is just an overpriced pile of junk. I do not recommend any of y'all purchase a BMP second gen swap kit for your Cummins. This is the boxes that everything came in. So on this truck, I put an On3 Performance intercooler on it. All BMP S464 second gen swap. Took the man's brand new Banks air cleaner, cold air intake that we put on it. I did a Banks grid heater upgrade. Grid heater upgrade. And then the S464 kit. Yeah, for proof. Brand new intercooler. Brand new hot side charge pipe and cold side charge pipe. So, y'all check this out. That thing weighs like 5 pounds. Yeah, y'all hear how heavy that is. Look at that good molding. I swear the Romans and the Athens were able to build better cups out of clay with their hands in like 1200 BC than these people can cast a manifold in 2026. Strange. So heavy, it's either gonna rip the daggum bolts out of the head or it's gonna crack somewhere, wherever the casting split is on this. I don't know whether it's inside or what, but I have a feeling this extremely heavy manifold with the weight of an S400 turbo on it, it's gonna crack somewhere. Let's put money on that. All right, and the fact that we have an extremely long, bound up oil feed line that's getting nice and hot on our extremely thick and probably well over EGT temperature holding stainless manifold. And to top that off, we have a super restrictive oil drain line that looks like a 12-foot long bendy straw from Sonic. And it is very, very fun to try to get this long dong thing to fit in a mid-mount second gen swap. For why do we need that long? The turbo cartridge is only like 10 inches from the port and the block for the oil drain. So you literally have to curl that thing up, make it look like a water slide at daggum Six Flags to get your oil in your block after it set up against a manifold to get fed into your journal bearing turbo. So by the time the oil actually gets enough volume in here to push through and drain, it's probably only 1200 degrees. That doesn't matter. Your journal bearing turbo loves that. We also love when our brand new turbo that don't even have 50 miles on it pushes a ton of oil. Why is a brand new turbo making oil like that? I primed it. I made sure to fill it up with oil with a plug in it before I put the drain line on, and then I swapped the drain line on real quick. And then I had an employee start the truck while I held the compressor so it did not spin and it filled the cartridge up with fresh oil. But for some reason, we're still pushing oil out the exhaust and into our charge air cooler system. Remember, both kits are for 13 to 18. Why does this look like it goes to a 9 to 12? I don't know. Yeah, I didn't even use the bands that they sent in their kit. Most of those are, including these. The bands that come in your BMP kit, they're all egg-shaped. And the best part about it is you couldn't force that little bitty son of a gun to go on the charge air pipe if you wanted to. They're too small, they're egg-shaped, they're bent, they're cheap. They come apart. That was brand new out of the box. I got them. I got proof of when I opened it and everything. That's how they came. And if you tighten that fucker up one time, it snaps or it spins the T-bolt inside of the little shoulder deal there. And for anybody that's going to say, oh, your charge air system probably had oil in it from the turbo, from the factory turbo. No, sir. Brand new brand new charge air cooler, brand new hot side, brand new cold side. Brand new turbo, brand new exhaust. Look at that. 97,000 miles on this truck. The turbo that I pulled off of this truck, the factory Hallset turbo, was not bad. He just wanted to do a second gen swap on his truck. He saw a couple of my second gen swap Cummins sitting around here at the shop. He heard one. He was like, man, I really want that on my truck. So another thing that we did, but this is not BMP, this is actually BD, and is extremely cool. I figure we put some good in this. That inline exhaust brake is a hoss. I tell you what, my only complaint is that they sent the exhaust clamps, the little sleeves. They do leak if you run the 4-4 or 4-5. I put the 4-4s on it, and whenever we turned the exhaust brake on going down the road, whenever it closed and started to work, it pushed air around the sleeves and sounded like a pissed off Ghostbusters vacuum. So I just went ahead and welded it up. But that is fine. That BD inline exhaust brake kit is bad to the bone. Super easy. It hooks into your factory VGT controller plug on the factory turbo. If you're running your factory turbo, you can lock your vane, lock your VGT open, unhook it, plug it up to that BD, and then you run your wire in here, go to you connect your security box. I'm doing some tuning on it right now. The Easy Link is in my other truck, but I was doing tune revisions on this, so I unhooked the BD, and it works off your factory button. That thing is kick-ass. I am definitely going to put one of those in my 08 Shorty 3rd gen. That's got a real second gen swap on it. I really, really do like that BD inline exhaust brake. Highly recommend that. But if y'all plan on doing a second gen swap on your Cummins, run from them. I really hate making videos bashing and stuff, but the fight that I had to go through on this install, absolutely one of the worst, absolutely the worst second gen swap kit I have ever put on a truck. I personally own 6 Cummins trucks that are all second gen swap that I did all of them. This is the worst. This is a customer's truck, so I feel extremely bad about it, but he spent hard-earned money on a kit that some people said were good. I haven't seen any bad reviews, so I'm letting y'all know now, being 100% honest with you. Like I said, I hate being this guy, but when you spend the money that this man spent on a second gen swap kit, you'd at least expect to get gaskets and bolts at least. Now, let's put factory bolts. Send 2 exhaust manifold gaskets in this kit. So I called them to make sure that they didn't misplace the hardware and gasket kit. No, they told me they don't send them with hardware or gaskets. Weird thing, my S475 kit, exact same brand, just S475, paid the extra $500 or whatever it was to get the S475. It came with all new manifold gaskets, but not a turbo gasket. No hardware. Extremely long oil feed line that you got to cram in on your daggum extremely hot exhaust manifold. And it came with the silly straw drain line. I called them, talked to them. They told me you have to buy that separately. So I bought a stud kit separately. I had gaskets sitting on the shelf, and I only had 1 pack of exhaust manifold bolts left, and I got to keep those for spares for my personal trucks. So could not give those to the customer. He said it was okay to put the factory ones back in. He wasn't trying to go show the truck off. He just wanted to do what sounded cool and give it a little more pep to its step. BMP tells me you have to order it separately. Ordered the stud kit separately. You can't even use their stud kit on their manifold. I put the top went in fine. Put the bottom studs on, went to put the nuts on. Of course, they hit the manifold. These factory bolts are barely clearing. You got to use a wrench to tighten them up. Barely clearing this manifold. So I called him back to tell them, hey man, I think y'all might have sent me the wrong stud kit. Oh, we only sell one. It's okay. Well, it does not work with y'all's brand for one-piece exhaust manifold. Oh, well, we've never tried it on our exhaust manifold, so we can't confirm or deny that. I was like, well, I'm here to tell you that it does not fit on y'all's manifold. I was like, can I send it back? Did you install it on the truck? So I tried. Nope, we can't take it in return. Hung up on me. That right there alone, customer service alone, is trash. And then to fight this kit as much as I did. So I have videos that will be in this video of how short this charge pipe was. Luckily, their kits are so inconsistent that my kit, the S475 kit, had a long enough charge pipe. It's in there at a terrible angle. I've tried every which way on the 45 that's on the charge air cooler down there. But it's in there. It's holding now. I've got the truck above 37 pounds of boost, and it did not blow off. With the one that actually came with this S464 kit, it blew off so much that blew out the filter. I'm just going to give them my BMP filter because I'm not going to run any of their junk on any of my trucks. So, yeah. If y'all are doing a second gen swap on your Cummins, you can definitely go way beyond this garbage and spend less money. Let me show you my third gen that I spent less on my second gen swap kit on this third gen. And for anybody that's going to go, oh, that's third gen, this is fourth gen, the manifold and the turbo and the downpipe are the exact same. So this is on my 06. Don't mind all the pollen. That is a Steed Speed T4 comp. That is actually BMP's S475. I threw it on here to see what it looked like. I am taking it off. Don't y'all worry. But that is a Smetting downpipe. Steed Speed T4. I took the charge pipe out to put on one of my other trucks. I have one on the shelf. But what I normally do for second gen swap is I go to DDP or anywhere that carries a Steed Speed T4 comp and a turbo as a package. And then, you get your S400 turbo, your T4 Steed Speed comp manifold, snag that up. Depending on where you get it, you'll pay whatever it costs. It's less than there. And then you go over to Smetting, get yourself a full piping kit. It comes with downpipe, both charge air pipes, and an air filter. Get that full piping kit for whatever your truck you have, whatever second gen swap kit you're going with. Does not matter. Smetting works with all of them. If you do a high mount kit, you go to XDP, get yourself a little 1/2 inch spacer so your S400 can clear the manifold. You can clock it whichever way you need to hook up your charge pipes and everything. You can also, with that spacer at XDP, you get some longer studs and nuts. Then I'm not sure of a company out there that sells the extended downpipe, because when you do the high mount kit, the downpipe that comes in the normal second gen swap kits is made for a mid mount, so you have to extend the center of it, drop it down just a little bit. We do that in-house here. So to be honest with y'all, I don't know any company that sells the extended downpipe. There has to be somebody out there because everybody runs the high mount kits. They just look a lot better. And as far as the charge air system, Smettings works perfectly. You can get it with the intake horn or without the intake horn. Either way, I've done both. Turns out 100 times better than anything that this company has to offer. Smettings customer service is one of the best customer services that I've ever dealt with. DDP, also very great company to deal with. So stay away from BMP. Trust me, you will thank me in the long run.